This is my Let's Play for Destiny 2 for my final project. So, I'm going to be talking mostly about microtransactions in the game. Those are probably the most controversial thing that Destiny 2 has. So, a lot of well, let's just start by saying that the microtransactions in this game are not game, what's the word? They don't affect your power at all. They're mostly, well, they're cosmetic. So let me show you what I mean real quick. Let's go down to my menu. This ship that I have, that I'm hovering over, and this sparrow, which is like a vehicle, those are some of the things you can get. But like I said before, they're just cosmetic. I mean, a sparrow can get you around places a lot faster. Like this. Oh, look at it, this is the nicer sparrow. Like, look at the little effects it has as I'm going through the map. It looks cool, but I mean, it's not gonna make you any better, any stronger, any powerful. That's pretty much, as of right now, as of this recording anyways, that's the extent of the microtransactions. They don't affect gameplay, but many people in the community are worried that it's slowly creeping. The microtransactions are slowly creeping to a point where it could end up being like, let's say this gun I have, maybe I can only get this gun that I'm using right now from, from purchasing it. But I mean, honestly, I don't think it's gonna ever get that bad, because right now, like, the community is pretty vocal about maybe lack of communication, to the point where even Bungie had to like stop. They were gonna have a stream about the new DLC that's coming out, and they even canceled that because they knew that there would be a huge backlash. So I feel like if they were gonna try to attempt to do like more heavy-handed, if they were going to be more heavy-handed with microtransactions, then I'm pretty confident the community would pretty much give them shit about it, because if they can give them shit about things like, oh, why aren't you communicating with us, or, why aren't you responding to feedback we have about, the way the game plays, like, things like that. If they can respond to that, then they can pretty much, respond to anything. So microtransactions, they're definitely a big part of the game, but they don't dominate the conversation. They exist. It's there in your face. One of the ways to get not microtransactions, items that you can get, instead of purchasing them, you can get them from what are called bright engrams. You can purchase these bright engrams with real money, or if you level up your character, you get a very high chance that you'll get a bright engram. So you level up just by shooting, killing things. This little guy right here. Okay, see on the bottom right there how it says plus 75, and that little gold bar on the bottom, that's your experience points, or that's your experience bar, I should say. Once that fills up, you get again high chance of a bright engram, and then you can potentially get some extra cosmetic items. But I'm gonna show what I'm talking about in a second here. Let's just go back to orbit. Oh, one of the other things you can get with from the bright engrams, or purchasing them with real money, is like emotes. So you can have your character throw salt in your face, really piss people off. You can flip out on people, I mean, the difference between like this kind of emote, notice the wait a second. Oh. Notice the little effects in right there. See how it's like really like, wow, look at that. Over the top. That's an exotic emote. That's like the best quality emote you can get. Versus something a step down like this. Hey, look at him doing a little funky dance. Not as flashy. None of those really cosmetic effects that you saw in the last one. Versus a rare emote, which is pretty simple. It's like Yeah, you got this. Something pretty simple. So we're gonna go to the tower. Oh, I've got a lot of stuff. Gonna go to the tower. I'm gonna show exactly what I mean by all of the microtransactions, or the extent of the microtransactions. I'll talk a little bit about the game generally as we load in. So for those who don't know, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but Destiny 2 is the sequel to the original Destiny, which came out in, I believe, 2014, I want to say? Yeah, 2014. A little bit about myself. I've been playing Destiny on and off since 2014. I took a big break most of 2015, came back towards the end of 2016, and ever since then I've been playing almost regularly. Depends. Sometimes there's been some lows. I can't deny that with Destiny 2, the way that the state of the game is right now, I've taken a big break. Honestly, it's been a week since I've played this game, which, you know, for some people it's like, wow, just a week? That doesn't sound like a really long time, but for me it kind of feels like it's been a while. I also bought the game on PC, but I'm playing on PS4 because I have... my characters are all, you know, pretty geared up, and I'll be honest, trying to figure out the settings on PC to record is... I don't really feel like doing that. But anyways, I'm going to show you all what I mean with the bright engrams and the microtransactions. So this is the Eververse store. This is where you can purchase your bright engrams. This lady right here, Tess Everest, she's the one that sells you these things. Before we talk to her,
all goods for trade.
We'll see what she's selling. And so these are the bright engrams. So they contain many different customization options. Nothing about, there's no weapons, there's nothing that will make your character more stronger, more powerful, but if we preview these, I mean, just look at all the stuff that you can get from this. Like, and these 8 things right here, those are just categories. They don't need those. They have even more stuff in them. So we'll just take a look at armor, all the armor sets for each different class, ornaments, things that customize your weapons, the way they look, your different ghost shells, your little traveling ghost companion. He can look a little different with that. Like I mentioned before, the emotes, those are the 4 big ones. I still don't have the spicy ramen or the 6-shooter, but whatever. Sparrow, ships, shaders, mods, you get the picture. Basically, a lot of people have been concerned at the amount of cosmetics that have been pretty much relegated to these bright engrams. In Destiny 1, there were still quite a lot of, you know, things that you can only get with, you know, microtransactions in Destiny 1, but in Destiny 2, even I have to admit that there's just a lot more stuff that is locked behind, you know, these bright engrams. And yeah, you don't, you know, and the nice thing is you don't have to, like, pay real money. Like, I've only, you know, I mean, I'll admit it, I've spent, like, a few dollars here and there, but I haven't gone, like, you know, spent any more than, like, $10, I would say. You know, you can get a lot of these things just by leveling up, so it's not like, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but, you know, I understand that there is that concern, like, oh, like, Destiny 1, there was microtransactions, but it wasn't, like, anything that bad. But Destiny 2, now there's more microtransactions, but it still doesn't affect the way someone plays. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about microtransactions.
Thank you for shopping at Eververse.
Even though I didn't shop at Eververse. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna, instead of just walking around doing some really boring stuff like that, I'm gonna go into my least favorite part of Destiny 2, which is the Crucible, because I have a lot to say about this. Not a lot of good things. Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think of some good things to say about the Crucible. Nope, nothing's coming to mind, so. Let's see. For those who don't know, Crucible is the PvP, or player versus player, uh, action. You know, you can fight against other people. In Destiny 2, the games are all game modes, regardless of whatever mode you're playing. It's all 4 versus 4, so one team of 4 versus another team of 4. A lot of people, myself included, do not like these changes. Well, a lot of the changes that they made, in an interview I remember reading that they said that they wanted to make the game, quote, more streamable or something to that effect. Yet if one goes on Twitch right now and were to see where Destiny 2 falls, its viewer count is actually pretty low, so I'm not too sure what they meant by that. Maybe they were just, maybe it was just a slip of the tongue or something like that. But Crucible in Destiny 2 is, I would say, if I could say it in one word, I would say it's safe. It's very safe. It doesn't want to take risks. Like in Destiny 1, first of all, you had a lot of game modes that were, some of them were 6v6, so 6 people versus 6. Some of them were 3 versus 3. But in Destiny 2, they played it safe, and they just said, nope, everything's 4v4 now, no matter what. The reasoning, I believe, is they said that it would be easier to balance the maps, and because there's less people in the game, there's I don't know, something about easier to balance, but honestly, I don't think that's, I don't know. They also said something like, oh, the maps are, they're a lot smaller, but honestly, they're not that much smaller, but it just, it just depends on who you're talking to. Oh yeah, this is like one of the bigger maps. This is what I'm talking about, like, this is really not a small map. God, I hate this game mode. Sorry. I'm gonna try to tone down the saltiness, because, I'm only really playing this just for commentary purposes. Never really done commentary a little bit. Yep, I'm rusty. Basically, for those who don't know, every competitive game has what's called a meta, or basically, a meta is like, basically whatever's popular, whatever gun or whatever playstyle is popular at the time, people will use that. So the gun I'm using right now is very popular, because it's very easy to use. It's pretty foolproof, honestly, and it's gonna be hard to talk while I'm shooting, because I'm just like usually very focused. But meta is what people call what's most popular. Oh my god, what am I getting shot at? The most popular loadout. So what I have right now is an auto rifle. This is one of the most popular auto rifles. It's very easy to handle, easy to kill someone at really long ranges. I'm gonna switch to the scout rifle. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, see, let's talk about the first thing I don't like about this game, about the Crucible in Destiny 2. Well, let's talk about this right here. Power ammo. In Destiny 1, you can get, like, heavy ammo, which you can, like, run around with, like, rockets and, like, things like that. But the thing is, you could only, like, you could, in Destiny 1, you can, like, as a team, pick up heavy, like, people running around with rocket launchers and stuff. It's kind of pretty cool, kind of crazy, but in Destiny 1, in Destiny 2, they got rid of that feature. And so now, only one person can pick up the heavy ammo. So if all 4 of your teammates are standing right there, whoever gets it, only one gets it. So hopefully you're playing with the fire team, because otherwise you'll probably get a lot of pissed off people who are like, wow, thanks for stealing my heavy ammo, bro. But yeah, that was just a kind of a side comment. But one of the things that I don't like about the Crucible is it's very emphasis on, like, team shooting. So, like,
you're falling behind.
Well, that's another thing I don't like. But going back to team shooting, so basically, because there's only 4 people on each team, you find yourself in situations where You're one of two situations. One, you're by yourself, and two or more of the enemy team finds you, and you get curb stomped. Or scenario number two, you are one of those 2+ people who curb stomps the other team or the other guy. It's not fun. It's really not fun because of the way the game is designed around this. It's not. I understand. It's just hard to explain. It feels very frustrating and it doesn't feel very rewarding. And another thing about this game is that, as you can see, I just lost a teammate. A lot of people rage quit in this game. It's a big problem. And because right now there's no punishment, there's no penalty for leaving a game, so you frequently find yourself in games where people leave and, oh look, someone just joined again. Let's see how long this guy stays. Gonna do some gameplay for a sec while I gather my thoughts.
Shut the enemy down.
Nice. Okay, getting back to the hole. Crucible is. Okay, I miss Destiny. There's a lot of things I don't miss about Destiny 1, but one of the things I do miss is the Crucible. It's just, in Destiny 2, it just feels very boring. It feels very team shooty. It doesn't feel very, it's team shooty, but, yeah, like right there, you see, like, there's two, well, okay, to be fair, I was by myself. Still, team shooty. Let's see, what else can I talk about the Crucible? I think there's a really big disconnect between more casual players and more competitive players. Like, in Destiny 2 we really only have like 2 playlists. Usually we have the what they call, what do they call it? They call it, it's quick play basically. It's it's designed for you to jump in and out of a match quickly. Then we have the competitive playlist, which, as the name implies, it's a lot more competitive. The game modes are more strategic. You can't just run around shooting things like right now. You can't just run around shooting things. Like, there's more of a teamwork aspect, but even though there is a competitive playlist, like, no one really ever uses, like, the voice chat in this game, which is, to be fair, understandable, because the voice chat is not the best in this game. I've tried it, and honestly, the chat in PlayStation is just way better. Like, even when I'm playing with a group of friends, like, there have been times when we had to use the Bungie or the Destiny chat, and it's not great. There was a time where I couldn't even hear the other teammates. No, I don't think so. I couldn't even hear them, but as soon as I went into the PlayStation chat, we could hear them again. So, not great. But then again, but then it also makes it hard for people to want to play competitively, because you just want to do your own thing. And if you want to do your own thing, that usually gets you killed. And if you get killed all the time, you rage quit. And if you rage quit, well, you leave. And right now, like I mentioned, there's really no penalty for leaving the game. So that has a lot of people upset. But for me, I just avoid that playlist altogether because I don't want to deal with that.
Seconds remaining.
It's not the best play there, but I should probably mention the game mode we're playing. So basically, this is called supremacy. You kill people and they drop a crest. they get points for picking up that crest. So for those who play Call of Duty, it's pretty much what's called a token thing. Instead of dog tags like in Call of Duty, it's crest. That's pretty much the only difference.
And fight again.
I mean, it's pretty clear that this game mode is like a, you know, reference is a clear reference to Call of Duty because both games, Call of Duty, well, the franchise, and Destiny are both published by Activision, so that could probably account for why there's a difference, why it kind of feels the same. Let's see. I think one last thing I want to talk about is I kind of touched upon this earlier, but there's a nope, I don't want to play again. Oh yeah, communication, like all that stuff right now just doesn't. There's not a lot of good communication between the community and Bungie. They just put out a update a few days ago that finally addressed a lot of player concerns. But a lot of people, you know, you can't please everyone, honestly, but I think most people could come to an agreement that no communication is just not good. Like, at least we'll take something, you know, over nothing, but, you know, you really can't please everyone. But, let's see. As of this video, as of my recording, the first expansion, Curse of Osiris, is going to be coming out in 2 days, which is, you know, I guess I'm kind of excited, but I feel like with past expansions, I've burned through the content very quickly, and judging from what I've seen so far, there just doesn't feel like a lot of content from this new expansion, so I feel like, honestly, like, I feel like it'll be pretty much done with in a day or no, not a day, like in a week. A week, I would say. Actually, the new content will be pretty much devoured by the community. A lot of people are kind of up in arms that they chose that Bungie chose to focus on the new expansion. You know, get that expansion to pay money. That they weren't focusing on issues within the game. So I get, you know, going back to the microtransactions they had about testing, and I think people are, you know, concerned. Because if they're focusing on, you know, a live expansions over, if they're focusing on expansions over, you know, the base game, then yeah, that's really concerning. But, you know, I think the best tool that people can use is just just make their voice heard, because if no one says anything, they're not going to do shit about our problems, or the problems in the game. But everywhere that the community is active on, especially like Reddit, I usually check the Reddit for Destiny, it's pretty active. Usually that's where you find a lot of people who are, you know, airing their grievances about the game, whether they're justified or not. But I think overall, I think this video is getting kind of long, but I think overall, Destiny 2, I think what a lot of people are upset about, including me, is that there's just a lot of, like, potential for this game to be really great, but right now it's just pretty average. And that's kind of disappointing because Destiny 1 was just so much better. I mean, looking back, Destiny 1 wasn't perfect in the beginning. Like, the vanilla game was pretty bad. But then over time, it got a lot better. So I'm hopeful that with more updates, the game gets better. But those updates are for the most part paid, which, you know, it kind of leaves a sour taste in people's mouths, because it's like, well, why should I pay more money for a game to get better when it should have been good already in the first place? But yeah, those are my thoughts, and thank you all for watching me kind of ramble on about a lot of stuff while seeing things die and explode. So yeah, hope you had a great time watching this, and thank you. Oh, Whoops. Wait. Thank you.